Hmm, how bitter this nostalgia is. Looking back at Dragon Ball as one of the greatest animes of all time, and yet realizing simultaneously that it's probably one of the animes that did some of the most damage to kids, while also doing some of the most good. See, the point of Dragon Ball was always that you should never give up because as long as you never give up, the impossible would come true. And to many degrees, the notion is true. As human beings, we can essentially accomplish anything we put our minds to with unlimited resources and time and, all of the basic necessities of life, really. But what happens when that bitter herb fades and we realize that there are true limitations to what we as humans can possibly do? We cannot bring back the dead. We cannot go back in time. We can teleport if we put our minds to it. But there are limits. I mean, theoretically, the whole time travel thing, and if there were time travels in the future, then why aren't they here now? You get the point. And Dragon Ball, for better or worse, taught us against that notion. And maybe that's why there will always be just a hint of scorn in my heart for that, which is Dragon Ball. Hello, I'm Retro. This is Retro Rips. And today, we're going to have a lot of fun.
King Kai is out for a nice Saturday evening drive when, out of nowhere, Goku uses instant transmission to just be there on the planet, and he ends up crashing his car in the process. Good thing you got plenty of experience fixing this sort of thing. Hey, King Kai? Haha, haha, Goku's a jerk.
Isn't it kind of irresponsible for, a guy who's essentially God to bail a guy out of all of his social obligations by allowing him to come live in the afterlife with him on occasion? Just saying, King Kai, you're as much to blame for this as Goku is. He's retarded, and you're just a lonely old blue man who knows he loves the company and wouldn't have it any other way. You know what you are, King Kai? You're an enabler, and people like you should be shunned. Unless they're enabling me, because I'm awesome.
Vegeta and family find themselves on their way to, if you can even believe it, the mall. And since Vegeta's being nice enough to go with her and Trunks, she decides to repay the kindness by letting him get a little training in before they actually get there. Her idea of training is pretty unique, but I doubt Vegeta actually feels any of it. Believe it or not, Vegeta actually makes a genuine effort to reach out to his family and be a part of it. He actually seems like a genuine father in some scenes. Of course, the only reason he even came to the mall in the first place is because before he had promised Trunks he'd take him to the amusement park, and on top of that, he punched him right in the face.
You can't really expect him to be anything more than a tyrant, planet killer, jerk, all around douchebag who will probably betray you. He comes from a race of space pirates. And he's not acting piratey? I'd say it's a huge improvement overall to his character considering, true, he hit the kid, but if they were on planet Vegeta, chances are all the other adults would have hit him too. You can't just go around hitting the Princess Saiyans. Shame on you, Rift Draft. I've always kind of had this theory that Bulma had a huge crush on Goku when she first saw him at the World Martial Arts Tournament, and ever since she's been trying to make up for it by putting a little Saiyan in her life. That would explain why she's willing to copulate with a person she knows is an alien from outer space. With Goku, you can at least say, "Oh, I didn't know he was an alien." But you, Bulma, you, you get down kinky with it.
Since Bulma knows that eating puts Vegeta in a good mood, she has food item after food item after food item brought to their table. And it's going good enough. They're having a fun time, and Trunks and Vegeta are actually seeming to bond over the food. But, all good things must come to an end eventually. Vegeta takes about as much of it as he can before eventually he leaves. He even takes ink to the face and doesn't leave then, just later on.
Can you imagine how difficult it would be for Bulma if she didn't realize that the way to a Saiyan's heart was through his stomach? It would basically be like going up to E.T. and saying, "I want a long-term relationship with you." He's a fucking alien. He doesn't understand your culture, your rules. He might eat you. I'm serious. I'm sure Vegeta has at least eaten one person while he's been on Earth. And if he hasn't, why not? Bulma senses a slight change in Vegeta since, he died fighting Majin Buu, and I can relate. Maybe I didn't have to die to see it, but I do understand what it means to take a loved one for granted. Sometimes, the petty arguments, the little things, They get in the way of showing us what is really at stake here. Vegeta's finally come to terms with the fact that he has a family, and I couldn't be more proud. Meanwhile, back at the plot,
Whis goes looking for Beerus's breakfast and doesn't take no for an answer. He finds a strange alien who doesn't want to give in to his demands, but Whis is Whis. He's not about to let this little guy get in his way. Beerus gets to him first, of course, and the two pick a fight. The dinosaur man attacks Beerus, but as you can expect, nothing comes out of it. In the end, he's just simply outclassed. Beerus makes quick work of him, and in retribution for even trying to get in the way of his breakfast, he destroys the entire planet. As Beerus destroys the planet, he remembers exactly what it was that he was dreaming about before, the Super Saiyan God. Now, he doesn't even want the dinosaur meat. He's heading straight for Earth. Or maybe it's a little bit more accurate to say that he's on his way to King Kai's planet.
despite the fact that Beerus and Whis have been around for a while and that this reveal wasn't so much a reveal as it was an expansion on their backstory, I really like it. It gives a little more substance to Beerus' confusion when he first woke up instead of just having him go, aha, that's it, a Super Saiyan God. He actually has to work for it in this version. And as far as that goes, I think it's pretty eloquent of how Kira Toriyama managed to take the first 15 or 20 minutes or so of Battle of the Gods and stretch it out into something that makes a little more sense plot-wise. Like Vegeta training now instead of later. It just does a little bit to humanize his character is all. Well, say nice. And they decide to go after the one guy they think might have answers. Turles. Yeah. They're going after Son Goku.
Oh, and apparently Elder Kai is the only one who could sense God Ki. I find that a little odd because North Kai should be able to at least sense it, and the Supreme Kai too, but it doesn't appear that they really can.
All in all, it was a pretty great episode. Expanded upon Vegeta's character like we've always wanted in the series in the first place, as opposed to just having him be a side character who rivals Goku, as shown in scenes like
Vegeta exclaimed proudly to the world that he not only wants to defeat Goku, but he also wants to be the strongest in all the universe. He has no interest in being second fiddle to anybody.
this finally differentiates Vegeta and Goku in a very definitive way. Goku trains to get stronger. Vegeta trains to be the best. Whosever philosophy is stronger will reign supreme in the end. But if you'll excuse me, all this talk of dead loved ones, wishes that won't come true, the idea that you can never give up. I just got some thinking to do. As you like, comment, and subscribe, don't forget to take a deep whiff of that dark, rich aroma. God, I love coffee. John, can you teach me how to use the computer?
Maybe in a little bit.
I just want to know how to record a video.
Just make sure the light is on.
Light is on. Okay. Thanks anyway.